Hey there. My name is Zach Stacy, and for those of you that don't know me, I consider myself pretty good at a lot of things. Maybe not great at everything, but a lot of things. Now, recently, I have not been so good at Clash Royale. I've been struggling. I returned to the game after a pretty good break, and upon getting UC, I might have lost 30 games in a row. Hold up, let me get my food. Now, 30 games in a row is a lot, and that brought me down to about 550 elo. Not good. So, I decided to give myself a challenge. I picked the number one Goblin drill deck in the game and decided to play it for 50 games just to see what my progress would be. And as a little bit of a nerd, I decided to do some stats too so that you guys don't have to. Let's go over the results. All right, so starting out, this is the Goblin drill deck that we ended up using. I actually started out with Log in this deck, and I'll get into why I changed it to Poison later, but here's what I ended up going over. So essentially, I took out my notes app, and then every game I played, I just wrote down a win or a loss. I ended up going about 50%, or actually not about, but exactly 50%. I went 25 and 25. Now you might be thinking, this is not good. I didn't really expect to do good. I actually expected to do pretty bad. I've always played Hog 2.6, and for all you haters out there, that's just what I was used to. That's what I played way back when. So 25 and 25 for a brand new drill player was not too bad for me. Some matchups that I struggled against were Balloon, Mega Knight Bridge Spam, the double range log bait, so like the Princess or the Dark Goblin, and then also Graveyard. Now, these four matchups, I actually practiced with one of my friends, which I'll give a shout out in a bit because we got to get further into that. But I kind of worked on those a little bit, and it became a little bit easier. This deck was actually pretty good against some of the meta decks, like the Boss Bandit one or the P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant one. I felt really confident in those matchups and really didn't have a problem with it. Now, some of the things that I wrote down that I might have been struggling with were using the Goblin Drill. I mean, when's a good opportunity to go? You really need to make sure that you're ahead on your elixir. And like I said, I played 2.6, and my buddy also told me you can almost play the drill like a hog rider. You can put it in the other lane while you're defending. Like say you put it in the left lane, you can defend the right lane while the drill's over there. It kind of produces for itself. But there's some opportunities where you need to commit more to it, whether it's a demolisher, a snowball, anything like that. So another thing that I kind of had was cycle counting. So making sure that you know when their counters are coming up. So say they have a bowler, you want to make sure that their bowler's out of cycle if you're going to play the drill, right? That just makes sense. But yeah, let's get into some more fine-tuned details. All right, this Goblin Drill deck really excels in a lot of ways. I mean, you have your Demolisher that's really good for splash damage. You know, it defends great against stuff like Expo as well because it works as almost like a wall breaker at the end. I mean, the health buff really helps in this season, so it's huge. If you can get a Demolisher down, like in this matchup I'm playing against Giant Double Prince, if you can get a Demolisher in the back, you're just going to start DPSing down not only the Giant, but also the two Princes because it's going to splash all together. So keep that stuff in mind. One thing to worry about is, I mean, if they have to commit a fireball to it or they have a big spell for the Demolisher, you want to make sure that you're just playing it away from your tower, but don't be too afraid because it's always a good positive elixir trade. I mean, they need to spend at least 4 elixir on it just to get rid of it. But if you have a whole log bait deck coming in, log bait's a tough matchup, especially without the log now, but having the Goblin Demolisher for stuff like the Goblin Gang or anything like that, it's huge. So I would say the MVP of this deck is probably the Goblin Demolisher on defense. I thought about putting in other like ranged troops or splash damage troops, maybe the Bomber, but it really doesn't work that well. I mean, as you can see from this replay, it just runs and blows up. So worst case, if there's a giant horde of troops, you can just take care of it. It's a good cycle deck as well. I mean, I'm not the best at playing beatdown or playing slow, so having cycle cards like Skeletons and Ice Spirit really helped me out to soak up Boss Bandit charges, Prince charges, anything like that. The secondary MVP of this deck has to be the Snowball. I mean, the Evo Snowball with the drill is just so good. It's probably, I mean, I would debate that it's probably one of the greatest combinations in the game right now. I mean, all you have to do is drill in front of the tower, and then you throw your Evo Snowball. It picks up all the troops and just pushes them back. It works so well. So, I mean, just keep that in mind that sometimes you can be aggressive with it. There's times where you have to hold it and you have to bait out cards before you can use the Snowball. But at the end of the day, like, it's always going to get value. I mean, look at this. You push the troops back, and your goblins are going to get a good amount of hits. I mean, it forces out more elixir out of your opponent, so it's always good. Now, the reason why it's poison instead of log. I started out with log. Log helps with bait matchups, but it only helps with bait matchups. I mean, having the poison, it's going to help you against that graveyard. It's going to help you against that musketeer that's coming down your lane. It's going to help you against that firecracker that's coming down your lane. It's just going to, I mean, even the slowing effect on the poison, it's going to help you so much. You're, like we said, the Demolisher is going to just DPS troops down. If they're also slowed in the poison, it's going to bunch them all up, and the Demolisher is going to go to work. The Knight is a heavily underrated card too. I think the Knight is honestly one of the best cards in the game just because it's so consistent. I mean, you have that high HP where you can full counter a Mega Knight, you can counter a Prince, you can counter this, you can counter that. It's so versatile. There's so many ways to use it. I mean, the Tesla, I always like the cannon. However, in this deck here, you don't have any air defense, so you really need the Tesla. I mean, the Tesla comes in clutch so often, especially against stuff like Balloon. I said that the matchup struggles against Balloon, but once you figure out your Balloon Tesla placement, it's so much easier. I found out how to perfectly defend that, where, I mean, Koi, which I'll give him a shout out right now. Koi helped me so much with this. I mean, he recommended me the deck. I started the challenge, and then he started to give me little tips and tricks here and there. I mean, we sat in a call for a little bit. Obviously, I'm still rusty. I only went 50%. But watching him play this deck, I watched him go through a CC. He destroyed. I mean, not even close. He was 11-0 at one point, lost the game off a little mistake, but won the CC right there. And if you don't know what CC is, a CC is a classic challenge. So, I mean, that's just so impressive. That's just awesome. And he taught me the Balloon Tesla placement, and it completely changed the game for me. It made it so much easier. Okay, this right here is actually Koi playing the deck itself, so I kind of wanted to do a live reaction. I was in his ear at the time. We were on a Discord call, so at the time I kind of got the, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I got a first person view as to what somebody that's much better at the deck than I am, kind of their thought process going about it. So right here I'm kind of saying, oh, this looks like Graveyard Freeze. This looks like Graveyard Freeze, but later we find out it's Lumberloon Freeze. So, I mean, if anything's worse than 2.6, it's Balloon Freeze, let alone Lumberloon Freeze. But let's see. So he talks a lot about, oh, also this Bowler King Tower activation is amazing. He taught me this last night. Look at that. The Bowler just goes right through the Tesla to the King Tower. It's so awesome. But in a lot of cases, you want to make sure that you're getting your test placements good for the balloons, that not only both towers are hitting it, but it's kind of taken away from the lumberjacks. Make sure to play that Knight high, keep that lumberjack away, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to cycle off the snowball, because you want to get to that evolution. I mean, most of the time the snowball is going to be used defensively unless you're pushing away, say, lumberjack or a knight or something off your drill. Especially a Valkyrie. A Valkyrie is good to push off as well, just to get a couple hits. But the Evo snowball is mostly going to be what you're using for offense. So say that we have a Balloon Freeze coming in. We use a snowball to slow down the whole push. And then next time we have an Evo snowball. So don't be afraid to cycle that out. Same thing with the Tesla. Like, the Tesla is going to be huge for stopping those big pushes. So why not cycle it, get it in a good spot? I mean, it's going to be underground, so they can't hit it while it's under there anyways, so it's nice to sometimes have a Tesla on the board. In cases like this game here, the main thing that you're going to want the Tesla for is the balloon anyways, and that's really all of it. It's not like you have to snipe a princess at the bridge or anything like that, so you can really, I mean, besides that one Bowler King Tower activation, you're mostly just going to be using it for the balloon. In a case like this, he has Evo Archers. He gets pretty aggressive here with the Drill Poison combo, but look at that, forces out a bar barrel, plus it kills the archer. Now the tough part is defending the other side. I'm in his ear right now. I'm saying, hey, look, you have Evo Snowball. Don't worry. Like, the lumberjack can be scary if it's close to your tower, but if it's all the way down there, look, King Tower's hitting it, the Princess Tower's hitting that balloon, and it just goes down. Like, there's no reason to panic. You really got to play it slow and smooth. It's very important for this deck. It seems really, because it's a cycle deck, it seems like you got to play it really fast, but again, wait until the triple elixir, wait until like later in the game to get all those drills off, do all that work. You don't have to rush it. Right here, it gets the first freeze of the game. He has Evo Snowball. I'm saying in his ear, hey, look, you have Snowball. Don't worry about it. And then his princess and his king tower, because you got that bowler king tower activation, look at that. No hits on tower. I mean, it takes death bomb damage, but why waste a bunch of elixir on another Tesla just for another push to come down your lane? And now he's prepared for it. So, I mean, Demolisher blowing up, that helps out tremendously. And then the Tesla comes down here. That's a full health Tesla. He can't push in that lane anymore. And again, this is a good opponent. This is no joke of an opponent. So the fact that like even here we get one little stab, that's so much damage. Just one little stab from a Goblin helps out tremendously. Right here, he's building up a pretty big push. He's got the Evo Lumberjack and the Bowler. Skeletons help to kind of kite stuff around. You have the Demolisher. Watch, the Demolisher is going to blow up, and it's going to knock that Lumberjack back towards the Tesla, which ends up killing it, so it doesn't get any hits on tower. I mean, stuff like that, the Demolisher, like I said, it's the MVP. It comes in clutch so often, and a lot of the times you can just distract for all these cards. You have the cycle cards, you have the Skeletons, you have the Ice Spirit, you have the Snowball. I mean, you don't have the log. I was playing with the log at first. It's nice to have that log as a cycle card, but look how much work the Poison puts in on like the Evo Archers or slowing down some of these pushes right here. Look, he uses it to slow down the Balloon, slow down the Mega Knight. Let's take it easy. Let's take it smooth. That Evo Archer is going to walk right into it, right? So we just have the time because of that Poison. It slows everything down, clumps it up, like I said before. And then here he's got Evo Snowball again. I'm in his ear. I'm saying, hey, look. You have Evo Snowball, no need to worry. Yes, there's 30 seconds left, but dude, it's in the bag. You have this game. You have that confidence to just play freely. And the opponent actually ends up giving up here, giving him the win. So a really fun one to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, let's check out this profile and give a little wrap on the video. As promised, we would see this guy's profile. He has almost 40,000 wins and over 500 Classic Challenge triumphs. Now, this must be an alt account because he's been playing for 30 days straight. He's only at 6,500 trophies, and there's no Path of Legends progress. So, I think we're best to assume that this guy's really just grinding Classic Challenges out. But no joke, either way. 500 Classic Challenges is insane. But, going over the deck, my final analysis, I think that I would give the deck an 8 out of 10. Now, look, I went 50% on my win rate. And I understand that that's not good. But the reason I give it an 8 out of 10 is my personal playstyle. And again, this rating is based off me. It's not overall in the meta, anything like that. This is what I would give it personally. So I like cycle decks. I mean, you have the Skeletons, you have the Ice Spirit, and you have the Snowball. But you have the Knight, Poison, and the Demolisher, which are all pretty decently high expense cards. And it's hard to really cycle through and defend. I mean, like, obviously defense is the strong suit of this deck, but for me personally, it feels so clunky. Like, I liked having the log in the deck, but it wasn't as good. So maybe the deck just isn't for me. Maybe I need to try something else, or maybe I just need to keep experimenting until I really understand it. And I mean, for that reason, I mean, I have to give it an 8 out of 10. Now, in the comment section down below, I want you to leave me maybe a new deck. Maybe it's time for me to try something else for another 50 games. And that's where you guys come in. I mean, whatever you want to see in the battles, or you want me to do an analysis on, anything like that, feel free to leave in the comments and let's see what we can do. Maybe we can push higher with a different deck. We'll have to see. Thank you all for watching. And I mean, until the next one, I hope you all enjoy.